For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Camping and Leisure with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you guys a review on a lovely new tent from Outwell. This here is the HolidayMaker. The HolidayMaker comes in different sizes, a 500 and also a 600 size. With me today I've got the 500 size, but like I said, 600 is basically virtually the same sort of spec, just a little bit bigger. It's a new model certainly for Outwell for 2018 season. It's something that actually, the joys of it is hitting a price point without being sort of too expensive. So you're not compromising on the Outwell quality or necessarily all of the features that you come to love with Outwell, but you've still got the main sort of core things in there. So things like your blackout tinted windows, yet again to have the privacy when you want to have light as well. You've still got loads of sort of ventilation points to give yourself a good circulation inside the tent and help it keep it nice, fresh and airy inside of there. You've got side doors as well, so every single sort of external door has a mesh part to it, which I think is brilliant for the price points. So again, you can see there, you've got that just continually roll up, out the way, and help with circulation. And if you want to, you've actually got eyelets put inside on the actual door itself, so you can buy some additional king poles and give yourself a nice big canopy addition to the front open canopy. So this tent is really, like I said, a 5-berth or a 6-berth. Now Outwell are probably not always the most generous when it comes to sizing, so really I'd say the 5 is more of a comfy 4 and the 6 is more a comfy 5. Or if you want to go obviously more room, the better. But you've got 3 main sections to the tent. So you've got your sleeping area, your living area, and a nice big good depth on the canopy area, which will look about certainly more inside. It's a beautiful sort of fabric, lovely sort of coloured green, about 70D, 4000mm hydrostatic head, so it's very, very waterproof. But it's, like I said, it's very easy to pitch because it's air, and each individual air beam is done on its own accord. So it's certainly something that's very quick and easy, certainly do on your own. I mean, I myself have pitched this model, must have been probably about 10 minutes flat, which for something this side makes it perfect for weekend camping or even long weekends or weeks or however you want to go for. That's the joy of air. And it's obviously very strong and sturdy in the wind itself. Like I said, loads of ventilation certainly in the main living area, but also behind in the bedroom area as well to help keep it nice, fresh and airy and sort of help sort of fight condensation. But let's talk more about sort of the internal features on the inside. So now we're inside the HolidayMaker, you can kind of get a bit more of a grasp for how it's laid out. So you can certainly see the 3 zones now. Your main canopy area, your living area, and also the sleeping area right at the back. The one thing that certainly surprised me is the amount of depth you get in this front canopy area. It's a good sort of width, and like I said, even with the 4, sort of the 500 or the 600, you've still got plenty to play with. You've actually got a mesh door positioned on the very front door of the canopy, which is something you don't actually see in many models, certainly around this price bracket. I think that's a really good feature. So you can have good circulation into the main body of the tent, even with this dividing door open or shut. I think it offers certainly a lot of ventilation. On every single window you've got toggle up curtains yet again, so you can have the privacy when you want to. Like I said on the outside, you've got ventilation above the window as well to help with circulation and keep it nice, fresh and airy inside, and certainly help sort of fight condensation. There is a ground sheet that's applied for the front canopy area with the tent, and personally it sort of toggles up as well, so it actually feels like a bathtub. So it real feels like kind of like it's sewn in, but you've got the versatility of having it in or out. With something like a day like today or anyway, I personally would have it out, leave the door up, and then obviously if it starts to rain, it can just soak into the ground rather than collect on the ground sheet. Moving to the living area, you've got this really nice multi-partitional door, which can be sort of put in different sort of areas. And so you can have it nice and open as it is here. Alternatively, you can bring it halfway, zip along top and bottom, a ventilation panel at the front, or if you want to at night time, seal it off completely. So I think, yeah, again, for something about this sort of price point, it makes incredible value on the actual item itself. And you can roll it aside, like I did earlier, and just toggle it and leave it at bay. So not only have you got a mesh door on the very front of the front canopy, but you then also got one either side in your living area. So you can help with circulation of air. And like I saw from the outside, you can actually bring both of these out if you want to with some king poles and create almost like these little wings for more shelter. The living area is quite decent. You can actually put a table and chairs in here. And like I said, really down to the size of it, you're probably looking more of a 4-berth inner bedroom inside of it as such. The inner bed, is decent sort of height, so you can get changed in here if you wanted to. Alternatively, even in the main living area, you've got plenty of height throughout it as well. Even in the corners, me being about 6'2" or so, I can stand up here and I'm not sort of too far, I'm not sort of struggling for headroom. And that helps to make it feel, certainly the living area, a lot bigger and nicer in here. The bedroom is divided between the two bedroom sections, which is basically just a toggle. So it's merely a screen from one to another. So if you want that sort of separation, you can still have it. Storage pockets at the front allow you can declutter the living area if you wanted to. And again, you put sort of light things like books, keys, torches, that sort of stuff, and it just means you know where they are. And same when you've got in the bedroom itself, you've got storage pockets down each side, again, so you can leave things like phones and keys and that sort of stuff in there. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, you're reaching around for a torch, you know where it is in the pockets. Cable entry points are located in here, so you can have your main hookup in the tent without having to leave the tent door open the whole time. And actually on this one, you've also got a little entry point into the inner tent as well. And the joys of that means is that you don't have to, same sort of principle, leave the door open the whole time. You've got a hanging point for lanterns, again, as well as Velcro tabs located here, so you can happily tidy the cable away down to the entry point for the mains electric. So I think for, like I said, the main sort of features that Outwell have left in really do help to make it sort of a great value tent. Things like obviously the hanging points, the sheer amount of mesh in here, I think certainly nowadays with these very waterproof fabrics, it's a must have on my personal opinion. And yet again, with the air beams, very quick and easy to go up, very solid when they're up, and it just makes a huge difference everywhere else. But in any event, that is the Outwell HolidayMaker 500 and the 600 as well.